just curious, when did you start doing that, and how did you come up with the idea, or did you get it from somebody else, or along your coaching?
I've always put together what the awards would be. It was more an in-house thing where I was at before, but just I thought it would be good to kind of brand it, put it out there a little bit, and really recognize these guys. It's kind of for everybody to see.
So you've kind of started putting them out more this year, on Twitter and stuff.
Yes, but I always, in the past, I've always recognized it in our room. It was recognized just on the team, but I never did anything with Twitter.
Is that the first thing you do after a game?
That's the first thing. That's the only thing I really think about. Before I hear about how many yards the guy had or anything, I'm like, we sit there on the sideline, people get adding up knockdowns. Hey, coach, I had 3 knockdowns on that drive, or whatever it might be. So, I mean, those guys understand that it come with being in that room. We got a tough guy room. We want to get knockdowns. We want yards after contact. So if we getting high yards after contact, we know that we're getting a lot of yards, before contact.
Steven obviously didn't get a lot of burn this week. Was it the same message you gave last week when we talked about how you said, hey, you're not going to get a lot of reps?
Yeah, it was one of those things where just, I wanted to make sure and ease him back into a heavier workload, because like I said, I see diminishing returns by having the guy come back out there fresh off of an injury and really stressing him a lot. The plan is to play him more, coming into this stretch, because we're going to need that skill set. But more importantly for him, he actually thanked me the other day. He said, you know what, Coach, I'm glad you've been doing it this way the last couple of weeks, because I feel better this week than I felt if I was to keep on going out there and getting really pushed real hard. So it's a method to the madness, and again, we were able to get it done without him doing a whole lot.
With Steven and him playing, is this something that you get feedback from him to help you make that decision, or is this, as a staff, you guys kind of decide on that?
Nah, it's me. I just watch him. The same thing when I'm rotating guys and everything. I told him, I said, I done been in those trenches. I know what it looked like when the guy's kind of tired or a guy ain't 100%. But I know these guys are warriors and they want to get out there and do what they need to do. But it's still my job to make sure that I put these guys in the best position and put our team in the best position long term to be successful.
You've talked about a lot about how you don't want to wear your guys out, so that's probably part of that. Do you get a sense when you said you watch and observe, what do you see from guys when you think of it?
Well, just body language, just the way guys are getting up, after tackles, just the way they kind of move. So that comes with getting to know the guys too. I mean, walking in the door, I didn't know that from RoJo. It took some time to see him in practice and different things, kind of know when guys got juice. And the thing with building a room that has a whole lot of depth to it is, that you can take a guy out and you don't lose a whole lot. So I think a 100% said Ware is better than a 70% Ronald Jones. So let's have him come over and get his juice back up and go back in there.
Back to the award. If you were not to do that, would you hear about that from the players now?
Yeah, them guys they would be wondering that. Like, hey, where's that deal out? They like to know how many they had. Hey, how many did I have? How many we have as a group? Of course, there's that same award that we do on Twitter. It's a picture in the running back room, so the guys get to see kind of consistently what we're doing in there. So, again, we reaffirmed that today, just saying, what we are as a room, and what do we stand for, and saying that we want to continue to do that through the rest of the season, obviously.
Last few weeks of the season, the running backs have kind of been getting more carries. Season's gone along. How do you think they've handled that?
Well, we always want a lot of carries, so we're always ready when that call comes to carry the team. That's kind of what conceptually and what our motto is in the room, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win. Obviously carrying the ball is kind of what we do, but we've shown that we can catch the ball. We've shown that we can be great in pass protection. So just having, complete backs in there. But, of course, when you start to put the ball in our hand on a repeated basis, you're going to get high returns.
It seemed like Ronald's last game, I think, was one of his career highs for carries. It seemed like he handled that pretty well as the game went along.
Yeah, he handled it well. And, there was a plan as to how I wanted to rotate him during the game and ask his feedback afterwards, and he really liked it. Now, again, you get into the midst of battle and different things start going on, but I thought I had a good flow with him going, a certain amount of play. It really wasn't a certain amount of plays, but going a handful of plays, then coming out. Handful of plays, then coming out. And then at the end of the game, you see the guy still had a whole lot of energy and a lot of juice left.
So Steven got in about 4 plays in the last game. Would you expect it to be significantly more this week? I'm not asking for a game plan, but
yeah, I understand. Steven gonna play more. He's definitely gonna play more. And again, sometimes you got to protect players from themselves. And you let him say it a couple weeks ago. He's ready to take 50 plays. he's the same guy who after the game told me, you know what, Coach, I'm glad you did it like this the last couple of weeks, because probably coming into this week, he said, I felt the best that I felt probably since the beginning of the season. So, you know, he'll be ready to roll, and we'll see how that plays out, but I expect him to have a bigger role this week.
Is that especially prevalent in like a big week like UCLA, where all the guys maybe want to get into this game in particular, and they'll tell you like they're feeling better than they are?
Yeah, but I can look at him and tell that too. You know, so again, I'm not going to risk a guy long term, you know, just for a particular game. You know, that's why my whole thing is built in the depth of that room.